fucking line is cat. Shout out to Culture Spill and most importantly Mars fam. Shout out to y'all for tapping in. Now this video and these conspiracies is crazy. I honestly don't know where they're coming from, but I react to them to just to hear, what's on somebody's mind. This video is Jay-Z exposed for, I can't say that because of YouTube, I'm saying terms. Tupac over Beyonce. We ain't gonna talk too much without further ado. We're gonna get straight into the video.
Funny how Tupac has been gone for decades, yet people still talk about his star power? Well,
And
maybe
Biggie
it's
too.
because we still have a ton of questions about how he was unalive. But what if Jay-Z and Beyonce got to do with any of it?
If Pac was here, who you think the girl would have been with? Hold up. Hold up. It's about being with the biggest, huh? Who would do it the most?
Now, I know you've heard a lot of wild things about Tupac's passing, but did it ever cross your mind that Jay-Z had something to do with it? And that it possibly had something to do with him wanting to be with Beyonce? This whole Tupac-Jay-Z conversation came up recently when Billboard released their top 50 greatest rappers of all time. And they had Jay-Z at number 1 and Tupac at number 4. And while there were some people who said that
Yeah, they
Jay
wildin' for
deserved
that.
that number 1 spot, others felt like Tupac should have been at the very top of that list. Like Big Gip, who thinks Jay is only up there because of Beyonce.
To me, Tupac.
He look like he could
Only
be
reason
designer
why you
pop.
inching Jay past Tupac because he got goddamn Beyonce. You take Beyonce away, then bar for bar. Yeah, he might rap better than Pac, but Pac came with the heart. That's different. It's just different. You can't beat that.
Well, a lot of people certainly agree that if Beyonce were out of the equation, Jay-Z would probably not have landed that top spot. One person even wrote on Twitter, Pac, Big, and Andre 3 Stacks gotta be top 5. Nas too lightweight, and Jay-Z only became relevant because there was a vacuum and he seized the opportunity. If Big and Tupac were still alive, he wouldn't have a career. Beyonce resuscitated his relevance. He married his life support. And just like what Big Gibbs said, people actually agreed that if Pac was alive, Beyonce would be with him. In fact, the assumption that B would have been with Pac actually generated quite a buzz, with people asking whether Jay had something to do with Pac's death. And I know it's crazy because Beyonce was literally like 15 when Pac passed on. But hear me out and let's just explore this, okay? Now, for the longest time, P. Diddy has been the one getting most of the heat for Tupac's. In fact, after 3 years of endlessly digging, Detective Greg Carding came to the conclusion that Diddy put a $1 million hit on both Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight, following the highly publicized beef involving himself and Biggie, and he hired Crips member Dwayne Keith Kefi D. Davis to carry out the hit. However, Tupac was allegedly hit by Crips gang member Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, even though it was supposed to be carried out by Kefi D. Apparently, according to Greg, plans were changed at the last minute after they unexpectedly pulled up to the wrong side of Tupac's vehicle. The detective actually interviewed Kefi D, who corroborated the story and said that he was convinced Kefi D was actually being truthful. As he even told the Daily News, you get a very strong sense that he's speaking very genuinely and transparently. He comes across as telling the story as someone who was there. The fluidity is very natural. He told us things that he couldn't have known unless he was actually a participant. So apparently it wasn't just Diddy who was involved, because Jay-Z may have had something to do with it as well, allegedly. But did
Yeah,
Jay-Z
allegedly.
collaborate with Diddy to have Pac taken out? And if so, what did they have to gain? And how does Beyonce even come in? Well, in case you're wondering, Pac and Jay-Z did have beef. So the issue with Jay-Z was a byproduct of Pac's well-known conflict with Biggie Smalls. And Irv Gotti actually revealed that Pac feared that Jay-Z might get mixed up in his long-running feud with Biggie after their 1996 track, saying that that's the
Brooklyn's
reason why
Finest, yeah.
Pac was beefing with Jay, because of Brooklyn's Finest. Pac also released a couple of diss tracks aimed at Jay, making it very clear that they were not on good terms. However, by the time Jay-Z recorded his own diss track towards Tupac, he had already passed away, and DJ Clark Kent said the diss track was never released out of respect for Pac's death. In his words, Jay did a record going at Pac, but just as it was about to come out, son died. We performed it though. We performed it once. You have to understand, the chip on Jay's shoulder is so crazy. It's just like he had to perform it. At one point, Nas also weighed in on the feud between Jay-Z and Tupac in an interview with Felon, and he said that Jay-Z actually said that he was better than Pac and that Pac wasn't talented enough lyrically. He said, while referencing Jay-Z, he said that Tupac and DMX were not lyricists. I told him that I disagreed with him, that Tupac was the greatest ever, period, and that DMX really brought that street stuff back into the game. So yeah, there was definitely something going on between Pac and Jay, and if you ask me, I would say that the motive Jay would have had to take him out was that he knew Pac had the potential to be the biggest artist ever. Like, maybe he could have wanted Pac out so he could be the biggest hip-hop artist. And based on what I could dig up, Jay-Z didn't just want Tupac out, he wanted everyone that was a threat out. If you've been following ex-bodyguard Uncle Ron,
as far as that goes, like, I don't think Jay-Z is the biggest as far as rap. I think he's the biggest as far as like business, to be honest.
You know well enough that he's also been doing a lot of tea spilling on Jay-Z and how Jay-Z eliminated other people so that he could be the best.
Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie. Bottom line, you don't have to believe me, believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used, that he was bigger than Bad Boy itself.
Uncle Ron specifically said that Jay-Z wanted Biggie out so that he could be the biggest hip-hop artist.
Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. And I wonder who's the biggest hip-hop artist today. It's all business, folks. And unfortunately, you as a fan, most of you won't understand.
And since Tupac was also up there with Biggie when he was alive, it would make sense that Jay-Z would also want him gone, right? In fact, Uncle Ron confirmed that Jay-Z would do anything to get his way.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
You know, when the exact same thing is said by more than one person, maybe there could be some truth in what they're saying.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't get if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was a girl that didn't want you.
See, Jay-Z already did Dame dirty because of a woman, obviously Aaliyah. And although I couldn't find anything on Beyonce and Tupac, I personally wouldn't put it past Jay. Especially considering now that Jay-Z has Beyonce all to himself, there have also been speculations that he's actually controlling Beyonce using drugs.
Hardly nobody knows, but I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way. Y'all wish it what you wish it to stay on top. But there's one thing about me, bro. I can't be bought.
The allegation of Jay-Z now controlling Beyonce is something that Jaguar Wright also alleged.
And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now, y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
Beyonce is spree.
She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
But do you actually believe that Queen Bee would have picked Pac over
I don't
Jay
know.
if he was still alive? And what's your take on Billboard placing Jay-Z at #1 and Pac at #4 in their greatest of all time list? I'm
bias.
dying to know your thoughts, so let me
Bias.
know in the comment section below. And if you thought this
Man, shout out to Coach's Bill. I think that Billboard list is biased. Come on. Because who did they put over Pac? Like, #4? Come on. Y'all dragged it. Y'all dragged it. Somebody gonna check on that bodyguard because I ain't see a video from him ever since that video. With Jay-Z, I don't care too much to really bash him. All I know is, as far as working wise, he's definitely a person to look up to as far as like accomplishments and stuff like that. I don't know how he got there. I'm not trying to dig too deep into that. But as far as the people that said he's done them wrong, you got Dame Dash, you got who else? You got DeHaven, you got a lot of people to name. I can't remember too much off the top, but y'all get in the comment section down below. Let me know who y'all think is better, because that's crazy. Jay-Z or who y'all got? Tupac. I appreciate y'all for all the love and support. Love is love, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.